Next to raise clarificatory questions is the Honorable Bernadette Barbers.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Clarificatory question lang po para kay Director Matibag. Good afternoon, Director Matibag.
Good afternoon.
Oo. Kasama din po ba sa video yung tungkol sa pagbibitiw sa tungkulin ni VP Duterte bilang miyembro ng kabinete ni Pangulong Marcos at saka bilang Secretary ng Department of Education at bilang Vice Chair ng NTF-ELCAC or the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict?
Yes, good afternoon. That question, I would like to direct to John Mark Calilong. He was the one who authenticated the videos na dinala namin at sinabit dito.
Secretariat, please play the video.
Okay.
Earlier today, June 19, 2024, I sought an audience with the President and tendered my resignation as the Secretary of Education effective July 19, 2024. I have given my 30-day notice to ensure the proper and orderly transition for the benefit of the next Secretary.
Pangalawang tanong po. Yun naman pong video pagkatapos niyan na biglang sinabi niyang hindi na raw siya dadalo sa SONA ni PBBM at ina-appoint niya yung sarili niya bilang designated survivor.
It was considered during our investigation, Your Honor.
Okay.
Did you submit that video also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Secretariat, kindly play the video.
No. No, I will not attend the SONA. I am appointing myself as the designated survivor.
Okay. Yan po yung video. Pinatotohanan niyo ba na yan yung inyong inimbestigahan?
Yes, kasama po sa conduct of investigation and an ongoing investigation po.
Okay. Maraming salamat po.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Ko.
Ako muna.
But before Honorable Ko,
In reference to the
few
manifestation.
follow-up question lang from the Honorable Chua.
Got it, Madam Chair.
Just a brief manifestation, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, alam po ninyo yung designated survivor, no? Gusto ko lang i-emphasize na hindi po natin po pwedeng baliwalain ito. Kasi sa Amerika po o sa ibang bansa, ito pong tinatawag nating designated survivor ay ito po ay protocol sa US government. Ito po ay inakma doon sa isang makikita po natin yung konsepto nito doon po sa isang TV series sa Amerika, yung designated survivor. So ang ibig sabihin po nito, Madam Chair, doon po sa Amerika, pagka meron pong isang malaking pagtitipon kung saan nandoon lahat ang mga top brass o lahat ng mga matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno mula presidente, vice-presidente, mga cabinet secretary, senador, mga congressman. Kumbaga, ikukumpara po natin dito sa ating present setup. Ito po yung tinatawag nating SONA. Sa Amerika po, mayroon pong isang opisyal ng gobyerno na sineseparate nila o hindi nila pina-attend doon sa pagtitipon na yon ng kagaya ng SONA. Yun ang tinatawag nilang designated survivor. Ang purpose po nun, in the event na may mangyari, halimbawa po, nagkaroon po ng catastrophic event, nagkaroon ng matinding lindol, nagkaroon ng matinding halimbawa o binomba yung isang lugar kung saan nandoon lahat ang mga matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno. Meron pong isang matitira, yung designated survivor, siya po ang tatay o hahaliling presidente ng bansa. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ng designated survivor. Ngayon, ang tanong ko po, bakit po ito binabanggit ng ating Vice Presidente? Meron po ba siyang alam na masamang mangyayari nung panahon na yon? O may alam ba ang ating Vice Presidente na mangyayari kaya ayaw po niyang dumalo sa SONA? So ito po yung mga katanungan na hindi po natin dapat binabaliwala. So yun lang po, Madam Chair.
Before we proceed, our parliamentary status, we are conducting the clarificatory hearing for the allegations of threat and destabilization acts. And there are justice members who have raised clarificatory questions already. We are on the video. Honorable Barbers just presented a video of resignation of the Vice President and the designated survivor videos. And for the record, these videos were submitted by the NBI during our clarificatory hearings. To proceed,
Madam Chair.
the Honorable Joboy Aquino.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Hindi ba unfair naman po kung ang pop culture reference ay gagawin basihan ng suspicion? Marami namang gumagamit ng references from films and series as metaphor. Metaphor lang, Madam Chair. Ang punto ko lang, yung series ng Designated Survivor ay widely known na fiction. Kung ginamit man ito ng Vice Presidente, it could simply be a figure of speech. We should be careful not to overinterpret statements or put meaning beyond its plain language, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
I observe that Chair Benny Abante is also raising his hand. Do you have any manifestation or clarificatory question with regards to the resignation video and the designated survivor video?
I requested, Madam Chair, that after the clarificatory questions, that I would be allowed to make a manifestation.
All right, so I will call you after all the clarificatory questions.
Madam
The
Chair.
Honorable Kong Attorney J.P. Padiernas is recognized.
Madam Chair, thank you so much. Madam Chair, I understand yung point po na ni-raise ni Honorable Joboy Aquino. However, we must also consider the other side of the coin. There's a need to examine the statements of the impeachable officer in their entirety and not in isolation in order to determine context, intent, and possible implication. In particular, the reference to the show Designated Survivor cannot be viewed on its own, divorced from the other statements made before, during, or after it. Nevertheless, it must be emphasized that at this stage of the impeachment proceedings, the issue is not yet final guilt or innocence. The question before us is only whether there is sufficient factual basis and probable cause to hold the impeachable officer answerable for the allegations. Whether the impeachable officer is ultimately guilty of the impeachable offense, whether in relation to the designated survivor reference or the other statements attributed to her, as mentioned a while ago, is a matter that belongs to the Senate to determine at the proper time should the case proceed in trial. That's all, Madam Chair.
The manifestation of the Honorable J.P. Padiernas is noted. Now we recognize the Honorable D.S.J.J. Suarez.
Maraming salamat, Madam Chair. Alam niyo po, maaaring fiction po yung series ng Designated Survivor sa US. Kaso lang, hindi po ito biro sa atin. Unang-una, dahil ang nagbigkas po ng mga salitang yan ay yung mismong makikinabang kung merong mangyari sa buhay ng ating presidente. She is the direct beneficiary of anything that will happen to the president. And thereby designating herself as the survivor means that she may be entertaining some thought, or there are some, things that may happen to the president. And as we all know, the president, the highest elected official of the land, whose life must remain secure because of the responsibilities and the duties that he holds. So we should not take this lightly, Madam Chair. Yes, it may be a basis of some series, and all the reason why it should be the basis, because there is so much significance in that statement that was uttered, Madam Chair. So I would just like to put that on record. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable D.S.J.J. Suarez. Now we proceed with the next to raise clarificatory question. Is this still on the video of resignation and designated survivor, D.S. Konghun? D.S. Konghun is recognized.
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. May I ask clarificatory questions lang po para sa NBI? Base po sa Part 4, Paragraph 53 ng Affidavit of Investigation, sinabi dito na the statements made by the Vice President were brought about or motivated by the unpleasant circumstances that happened prior to November 23, 2024 press conference. She imagined the cutting of the president's head. She further claimed that her name was marred by Speaker Martin Romualdez, First Lady Lisa Marcos Araneta, and President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Kinukumpirma niyo po ba ito?
Yes, Your Honor. It's on the October 18 video that was also authenticated, Your Honor.
Thank you. Base naman po sa Part 4, Paragraph 54 ng Affidavit of Investigation, sinabi po dito na the convolution of these circumstances will demonstrate that the threat is not a product of temporary fit of anger, but it was deliberately thought out by the Vice President. Kinukumpirma niyo po ba ito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, may I manifest that what we're seeing now is not a single isolated statement. When you put everything together, the resignation as a DepEd Secretary in June 29, 2024, and the self-declaration as the designated survivor in July 11, 2024, the remarks made in October 18, 2024 press conference, the threat to the life of the President, First Lady, and former Speaker of the House in November 23, 2024, and confirming the same on November 26, 2024, it forms a pattern that cannot simply be dismissed as a casual rhetoric. Ito po ay hindi about sa politics alone. This is about whether these statements cross the threshold of a credible threat that requires a state response. Thank you, Madam Chair. Yun lang po.
Thank you. We will go back to the video of resignation and designated survivor. If there are any other members who wish to manifest or raise questions on this video, if we are done, then we recognize the Honorable Rog Gutierrez
Thank you,
for
Madam Chair.
his clarificatory questions.
Madam Chair, just on that point po, no, and I do agree that tama rin naman po yung ginagawa ng NBI that in relation to the threat video, they're looking at other videos to provide context. And actually, naalala ko lang po, there was another video, I think, that was a pronouncement by a family member of the Vice President in relation to sort of political destiny of sorts. Yung dun tungkol sa mga Romanov at mga Mussolini. I would just like to clarify, Madam Chair, was that also included for context in the investigation of the NBI?
May we hear from the NBI? The Honorable Gutierrez is asking if the video about Romanov is part of your submissions.
Yes, Your Honor, it's part of the submission.
The
but,
same has been authenticated
yes.
as well?
Yes, Your Honor, but it's being considered on an ongoing investigation.
It's part of your ongoing investigation.
Honor.
What's the pleasure of the Honorable Gutierrez?
Madam Chair, that was just a clarification po ano ko na-consider. That's all. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable Bel Zamora.
short manifestation. I believe that all of us saw this video also wherein the brother of the Vice President referred to the Romanovs.
If I may interrupt, since we are discussing on the video, for the guidance of the members, since it's part of the submission, with the indulgence of the members, may we play that video?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes? So, Secretariat, please be directed to play the video about that Romanov.
Just a simple message sa ato ang Pangulo. From now on, before you go to bed, think of the Romanovs. Think of Benito Mussolini and his wife. And think of what happened to you in 1986. And maybe you'll reconsider the direction that you are taking.
Honorable Zamora.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to make a brief manifestation regarding that video. Maybe I'll give a little crash course on history. The Romanovs were the ruling imperial dynasty in Russia from the 1600s to the early 1900s, Madam Chair. And why? At sila po ang royal family noong 1900s until 1917. Noong 1917, nagkaroon po ng February uprising kung saan napilitan mag-abdicate o i-give up ni Tsar Nicholas II ang kanyang pwesto dahil may communist uprising. Pagkatapos po, October 1917, merong another uprising by the Bolsheviks, which was led by Vladimir Lenin, And ano pong nangyari dito? Kaya mahalaga itong Romanovs na to. Sila po, ang buong pamilya, ang mag-asawa na si Tsar Nicholas II, si Tsarina Alexandra at ang kanilang 5 anak ay kinuha, nilagay sa isang house sa Siberia at isang araw pinagpapapatay po silang lahat. So, yun po ang reference, nakababahala po ang reference nila sa Romanovs. Bakit naman din po nila babanggitin si Benito Mussolini? Sino ba to? Ang fascist dictator from 1922 to 1943 ng Italy. He allied himself with Hitler and the Axis powers until he was removed by King Victor Emmanuel and executed in 1945. The point is, Madam Chair, nakababahala nga ang kanilang reference sa ganitong mga okasyon, sa ganitong mga tao, and their propensity to refer to executions or to idolize dictators is appalling and should not be countenanced. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
That is very enlightening. Can we hear first the appreciation of the NBI? Having heard the history from the Honorable Zamora, how did the NBI appreciate this video of Mayor Baste?
Yeah, well, thank you for the cross-court history. Although we already have traced back why there's a referral on that matter. So, and I tend to agree with the Honorable Zamora that the reason why we're still considering what we're saying that there's an ongoing investigation, because just recently, I think first week of April, there was a rally in Club Filipino. When they launched the Rage, even the name you'll see it, Rage. So, wherein the Mayor Basti Duterte made reference to kuhain yung ulo ng Pangulong Marcos, ano. And we've noticed a pattern na paulit-ulit, laging sinasabi kuhain yung ulo. I think there was also a video submitted by NBI, which was also being considered in the ongoing investigation, that Vice President Sara Duterte also referring to remove the head, ano. And I'd like to make a reference on the earlier statement of Honorable De Lima on the pattern of behavior of the family. So lahat po yan ay recorded naman and been publicly used. And yun pa po yung isang nagiging challenge sa amin sa NBI, because again, just recently when the President Bongbong Marcos was present live in Palayan, Isabela, meron pong isang individual doon sa live na nag-post na barili na yan. So it's very alarming dahil hindi na, parang continuing na po yung threat sa ating Pangulo. And kami naman po sa law enforcement, any threat to the President or high official in government, we consider it as a threat to the national security. So it's good that these things are being raised here. So in addition to that, I issued a memorandum circular, administrative order number 11 po, dahil sunod-sunod na nga yung mga threat po na nakikita namin sa social media, creating a task force to continue to investigate this matter.
That's Administrative Order number 11.
Yes, ma'am. and
What
it's
do you
part
call the task force?
yung wala naman pong official name, but it's a task force to monitor all the threats to the President and to all other officials in government.
Is that part of your submission also?
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
committee?
Although it's not directed particularly to the Dutertes, but it's directed po to, in general, sa lahat po. But this is an offshoot because of the behavior po of the family of the
In other words, Director Matibag, the reason why you are considering all these videos, Director Matibag, is for you to be guided on whether or not threat was actually committed.
As to the press conference of Vice President Duterte, it's already been established by the Bureau.
It's
Even
established already.
Long before I came to the Bureau, nandiyan naman po yung records, the record which speaks for itself, na the threat, the great threat and the inciting to sedition are clear. All the elements were present, and then po, we're just awaiting for the decision of the prosecution service.
May we just know for the record, because you mentioned a while ago that there is a follow-up investigation. May we know the purpose of the follow-up investigation if you have resolved already the offense of threat that was committed against the first couple and the former speaker? How about the follow-up investigation?
It's an ongoing investigation po. If you recall, dun po sa video ni Vice President, sinabi niya na no joke, nag-hire na siya ng assassin, ano po. And we're trying to identify and pinpoint the assassin. And just to let you know, we have leads already. We have some personalities that we are surveillance at sinusundan po namin. But I have to caution you and immediately say that I apologize that we cannot name the names of those individuals namin sinusundan. But we are zeroing on several individuals already na maaaring yun po yung kinausap niya doon sa threat na ginawa po niya.
Wait, let me confirm. You said that you have leads about the assassins hired by the Vice President?
Yes, ma'am. Meron po kaming leads na mukhang talagang, at yun naman po yung findings na talagang may kinausap, kaya nga po nag-file ng kaso ng great threat at inciting to sedition. Ano?
And this is the assassin hired to kill the President, the First Lady, and the former Speaker, which we saw from her video.
Yan po yung part ng aming ongoing case build-up and to solidify po kung ito yung individual talaga. If you recall, meron pong mention, it's not been denied, na meron pong itinayong Vice President Sara, parang Vice Presidential Security Group, yung sarili niyang group. So, yun na lang, in general, we're looking on those individuals in the close associates of the Vice President.
Can you expound on the Vice President Security Group? What is the significance of this year ongoing investigation?
Well, meron po kasi mga na-identify dyan na still in the military service, And marami rin po dyan yung no longer in the military service. Ano po.
So-
Remember, yung sinusundan po natin is the second highest ranking official of the country. So she has the network. So, at kaya po kailangan nating sundang maigi at i-surveillance po yung mga nakakausap at mga kinausap po.
Is it correct to say that the subject matter of your follow-up investigation is the statement of the Vice President that he has hired an assassin?
Yes po, doon po talaga yon dahil we considered it as a serious and actual threat to the life of the President, kaya kailangan po naming bantayan.
And you consider the creation of the Vice President Security Group significant in the investigation of this having hired an assassin?
Para sa amin po, yes, because it is very unusual to a Vice President. If you will look at the history of other Vice Presidents, hindi po ganun karami yung security group na nakabantay po sa kanila.
When you say hindi po ganito karami, can you give us an idea? How many security does the Vice President have in comparison with those
Well,
who serve as Vice President?
I'm not sure what is the number, but during the time of Vice President Lenny, I think it's not even more than 30. Pero dito po, hundreds po yung security na tinayo po nila.
You are saying that during the time of Mayor Lenny, Vice President Lenny, around 30.
That
And
is my recollection po.
during the time of VP Sara, how many?
Hundreds po ngayon yan yung na-identify dyan
By hundreds, is it 100, 200?
More than this, I think it's ranging from 500 po. That bawas na lang po
500?
yan Makikita nyo naman po yan, di ba, doon sa paggasto doon sa confidential fund donation po yan
So this is 30 versus 500? Is that what you're saying, Director Matibag?
So this is unusual po. It's not usual do sa comparison. And we're looking back also as far as the other Vice President at that time.
Thank you. Now,
Madam Chair,
may
Madam
we...
Chair.
Yes, I was about to call you. We
Thank you.
recognize the Honorable Tino and then the Honorable Vice Chair Brian po.
Thank you. Actually, Madam Chair, yung napag-uusapan ngayon ni NBI Director Matibag, actually yan yung precisely yung ating line of questioning. Kung babalikan po natin yung statement, yung threat ni Vice President Sara Duterte na siya mismo ang bumigkas, let me quote, yes, huwag kang mag-alala ma'am, sa security ko kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. So yun po ang sinabi niya rito. Tapos yung kinausap niya na tao, yun yung sinabi niya na pumayag. Na papatayin niya ang Pangulo, ang First Lady, at ang former Speaker kung siya ay mapatay. Tama po ba? Hindi po ba ganun ang eksaktong statement ng Vice President?
Tama po. Kasi kaya nga po, we arrive with that conclusion that the threat will be ongoing. Until such time na makita po natin kung sino yung kinausap, or unless the Vice President will reveal it, which I think it's impossible, hindi po natin pwedeng alisin yung threat po sa ating Pangulo.
Okay. So again, malinaw po, idiin po natin sa mismong statement ng Vice President, yung nakita nating video kanina, sinabi naman niya no, na sa security ko kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Pangalawa, and then he said yes. So dalawa po ang na-reveal dito. Una, na yung kinausap niya ay galing sa kanyang security. Pangalawa, na lalaki ito, di ba? He said yes. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Okay. So, medyo narrow down po. Pag sinabi pong security ng Vice President, again, ito nga po, katulad ng binanggit nyo, yung Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group. Tama po?
Tama po yan.
At ang pinuno niyan at that time ay itong si Colonel Raymond Dante Lachica. Tama po?
That is correct po.
Okay. So, iniimbestigahan nyo na po ba ang VP SPG, including Colonel Lachica, kaugnay dito?
Yun nga po yung aming sinasabi, there is an ongoing investigation, and in fact, we are coordinating with other agency so that we can pinpoint who is that individual po.
Okay, so napakahalaga po sa recommendation dito sa affidavit of investigation, ang rekomendasyon na po ng NBI ay sampahan ng kaso ng grave threats, 3 counts of grave threats ang Vice President,
at saka inciting to sedition. Pero hindi po maaring matapos doon dahil lumalabas may isa pang party, no? Bukod sa Vice Presidente, meron siyang kinausap at meron siyang napapayag, sumang-ayon na pumatay sa Presidente, sa First Lady at sa dating Speaker, no? So in other words, hindi lang po tama po ba sabihin, hindi lang po simpleng nag-hire ng hitman ang Vice Presidente, kung hindi ang hitman na ito ay posibleng miyembro mismo ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. Tama po ba?
It's always it's a possibility because the members po ng Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group, sabi ko nga po, may mga active members po ng military po dyan.
Okay. So, in other words, yung betrayal of public trust po dito ay hindi lamang sa mga krimen na nabanggit, kung hindi, dahil nga pinapayag pa ng Vice Presidente at inamin niyang napapayag niya na ang isang membro ng Armed Forces mismo ang pumatay, no? At hindi lang ng ordinaryong mamamayan, kung hindi ng Commander-in-Chief mismo at ng iba pang mga individual at opisyal. So, yun lamang po, Madam Chair. Kailangang madiin po natin na ganong kabigat, no, ang inamin ng Vice Presidente sa sarili niyang mga pananalita na kitang-kita natin sa video. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Tino. Now we recognize the Honorable Vice Chair Brian Poe. Is there anyone requesting to be recognized?
Madam Chair.
After the Honorable Vice Chair Brian Poe will be SDML Lawrence Defensor. And then Congressman Terry Redon, and then Congressman Reneco. Thank you.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'd like to ask the NBI kung included po sa submissions nila ang isang interview with the VP wherein a few days after yung original threat, the VP had affirmed that the threat was serious but with condition. Na kung namatay siya, that's the only time the assassin would act. Was this submitted by the NBI?
May I, Madam Chair? Yeah. We are submitting it now. It's part of the subpoena ducis tecum that was issued to us for us to attend today. And that I think the Honorable Po is referring to the November 26 press conference, and we have here the copy. It's been authenticated also.
Yes, Madam
So
Chair.
I'd like to turn over to the Committee Secretariat.
Thank you po. Do we happen to have a copy of that video para makita ng mga kasama natin dito on the record? I guess while waiting, may additional na tanong po ako for NBI. Based on your affidavit of investigation, does the conditionality of a threat affect the veracity of the threat? Based on your investigation and your affidavit po. Kumaga, is it still considered a threat kung may condition po siya?
The same was considered during investigation, sir.
Sige po. Madam Chair?
Okay, Representative Po, are we done with your clarification?
Yes, Madam Chair, I just wanted to clarify those submissions, and hopefully if we could play it later for the committee, I think that would support our decision-making on whether or not there is probable cause regarding this threat. No?
Okay, thank you very much, Representative Po. I'd like to recognize our SDML Representative Lawrence Defensor.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. May I request that the threat video be played again because I have one question to Director Matibag. Can I have the video played again at the proper volume?
Comsec, please play the video of November 23, 2024.
Putang ina ninyong lahat!
Martin Romualdez, Lisa Marcos, Bongbong Marcos. Huwag kang mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko. Kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Sinabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta, at si Martin Romualdez. No joke. No joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila. And then he said yes.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I have one question for Director Matibag. Director Matibag, para malinawan ang mga sumusunod sa atin ngayon, ano ang res ipsa loquitur and does it apply to the video when it comes to grave threats?
Well, from my legal background, when you say reps ipsa loquitur, is the thing speaks for itself. Ibig sabihin, there's no room for interpretation, hindi mo na kailangang ipaliwanag, kundi lumalabas dito ay, yan ay, dyan na mismo, ipipick up mo na ron. And ang application nga namin, that is a threat. That is an actual threat to the President and to the wife and the former Speaker.
No further questions, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, SDML. Next, we recognize Representative Reneco.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I would just like to clarify paragraph 34 on the affidavit of investigation. This is page 14 po, kung pwede po siyang ma-flash. Madam Chair, if we could ask the Committee Secretariat to flash paragraph 34 of the affidavit of investigation.
Comsec, can you please flash paragraph 34?
Okay. I have several questions in relation to the sequence of events happening on November 23. To clarify po with the NBI, mga anong oras po yung press conference na nangyari noong November 23?
Your Honor, nag-start po siya ng November 22 ng 11:30, around 11:30 p.m. And natapos po siya November 23 at around 1 to 2 a.m. po.
Okay, so natapos siya ng very early morning ng November 23.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And dito po sa paragraph 34, this is following yung mga iba't ibang paragraphs that ask yung mga reporters that were present during that Zoom press conference. Tama po, no? May ganong pag-reach out sa mga naging reporters.
Yes, Your Honor. We issued subpoena, Your Honor.
Okay. And paragraph 34 specifically details yung naging response ni Reuters reporter Mikhail Flores doon sa subpoena. Tama po ba? Meron po ditong paragraph na sinasite kung ano yung alam niya in relation to not only the November 23 press conference that happened very early or natapos very early in November 23, pero later that afternoon, meaning ilang oras na po ang lumipas, no, may opportunity ulit na kausapin ni VP Sara Duterte ang mga reporters. And I quote, she further stated, no, thinking and talking about it is different from actually doing it. When that happens, no, there will be an investigation on my death. The investigation on their deaths will be next. Ano pong findings ng NBI in relation to this later, November 23 hapon na pahabol na statement ni VP Sara Duterte?
Ma'am, kinonsider ho din namin ito as part of our investigation.
Okay. Basically, you're saying yung findings ng affidavit of investigation, counts of grave threats, etc., it includes itong statement na ito?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. The next part of my manifestation will be a manifestation na lang po, no? From what I've gathered doon sa diniscuss, no, hindi po bugso lang ng damdamin yung pagsabi na no joke, may plano siyang i-assassinate ang isang tao, much less the president. But rather, hours after, no, kung saan may opportunity siya na mag-clarify, i-emphasize yung pagka-joke niya, hindi naman niya po ginawa yon. Mas in-emphasize pa niya na kung may pagkamatay nga, kung mamatay siya, no, may susunod na mamamatay. No, so clear trend of impunity po ang nangyayari, Madam Chair. And my last manifestation would be, it is clearly stated in this affidavit of investigation that the NBI found that yung kanilang findings passes their recent standard of reasonable certainty of conviction. This is under the Department Order Circular 15, no, na mas mataas po sa probable cause. So, ibig sabihin kung ang NBI ay nahanap na meron pong reasonable certainty of conviction, yung mga pwedeng makaso kay VP, no, more or less that should dictate whether the lower standard of probable cause, that ito po yung pinapahanap sa atin as House Committee on Justice, mamamit naman po itong threshold na ito. That's all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative Ko. Next, we recognize Representative Terry Rodon.
Maraming salamat, Madam Chair. Sa NBI po, base po sa Part 3, Paragraph 10 ng Affidavit of Investigation, meron din po kayo iniimbestigahan na video noong po October 18, 2024, kung saan sa isa pong press conference ng ating pong pangalawang Pangulo, which is also referred to in Paragraph 114 of the Sabaya complaint, kanya pong sinabi na gusto niya daw pong tanggalin ang ulo niya. Si Pangulong Marcos po ang tinutukoy po dito, hindi po ba? Tama po ba ito? Do you confirm it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, can we flash that part of that particular affidavit? Okay. Tama rin po ba na dito sa video po na ito, again in reference to paragraph 114 of the Sabaya complaint, sinabi po ng pangalawang Pangulo ang sumusunod. Una, gusto ko tanggalin yung ulo niya. Pangalawa, I imagine myself cutting his head. Pangatlo, so noon na-realize ko na toxic na, di ba? Ganyan na yung imagination mo. Sinasakal mo na yung tao. Then I said, this is over. Ikaapat, hindi marunong maging presidente ang nakaupo. Kasalanan ko ba iyon? Ikalima, hindi ko alam. Isang beses, sinabihan ko talaga si Senator Amy, pag di tumigil, huhukayin ko ang tatay ninyo at itatapon ko siya sa West Philippine Sea. At pang-anim, kung president nyo siya, okay lang. Ako hanggang vice president lang ako. Hanggang number 2 lang itong bansa na ito. Wala itong number 1 para sa akin. Is this an accurate representation of the video we are referring to?
Yes, Your Honor. It is included in the October 18, 2024 video, which was also authenticated, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, may we request the committee to play the clips of this particular video that we are referring to?
Committee Secretary, can we please play the clip, the video clip, referred to by Congressman Terry Rodon?
Gusto ko tanggalin yung ulo niya ba? Gusto ko tanggalin yung ulo niya ba?
All right, can we proceed to the next video, please?
Comsec, can we play
Imagine
the longer
myself
video?
cutting his head. Gusto ko, ganun din ang gusto ko gawin dahil sa mga katabi ko.
All right. Next clip, please.
Madam Chair, I didn't quite see the video. Can we just play it? Because parang blurred eh. Can we request that the ComSec play it again? Thank you very much, Madam
Yes,
Chair.
ComSec, kindly play the video again with the volume on max.
Imagine myself cutting his head. Gusto ko, ganun din ang gusto kong gawin doon sa mga katabi ko.
Can we proceed?
Madam Chair,
Alright.
just a point of clarification.
Go ahead, DS
Um,
Suarez.
Maybe the good congressman from Bicol Saro can answer my question. Doon po sa video na ni-request yung ipalabas, may binanggit po na cutting his. So sino po yung his that the Vice President was pertaining to?
I understand.
NBI? Who would be in a better position to answer that question?
Deputy Speaker, I understand that the NBI had already responded. Maybe the response can be repeated as to who is the person being referred to in this clip.
If you would see the whole video, it was referred to the President, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Sorry, Madam Chair. Can you repeat that again? Pakiulit nga kung sino?
If you could see the whole video that was submitted, Your Honor, it is the President that was referred, Your Honor.
The President.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
All right. Can we proceed to the third video, please?
ComSec, please play the third video.
So, na-realize ko, toxic na, di ba? Ganyan na yung imagination mo. Ang imagination mo, sinasakal mo na yung tao. And then I said, this is over.
All right. Do we need to replay it or we can proceed?
Go
Okay.
ahead,
We
Congressman.
can proceed to the fourth video, please.
ComSec, yes. Go ahead.
Hindi marunong maging presidente ang nakaupo. Kasalanan ko ba yun?
Please proceed to the fifth video, please.
Pero isang beses sinabihan ko talaga si Senator Amy. Sabi ko sa kanya, kung hindi kayo tumigil, huhukayin ko yung tatay ninyo. Itatapon ko siya sa West Philippine Sea.
Can we be clarified from the NBI before proceeding to the last clip? Who is this tatay ninyo that the Vice President might be referring to? Would you know?
The father of the President, Ferdinand Marcos, Your Honor, Senior.
All right, thank you. Can we proceed to the last clip?
So, kung presidente niyo siya, okay lang. Ako, hanggang vice president lang ako. Hanggang number 2 lang itong bansa na ito. Wala itong number 1 para sa akin.
Kakulango.